Welcome to the This Week in Golf podcast. And this week we're going to go over the Mexican Open, the Wells Fargo field coming up this weekend, LIV Golf last week in Singapore, and of course the World Golf Rankings, whether you like them or not. So last week in Mexico, Tony Finau took the title, and don't know if you got a chance to see it. I don't know if you've had a chance to see the Netflix show that basically featured Finau, but it is definitely worth a watch. One of the greatest guys on the PGA Tour, a true family man. And he ran away with it. Ran away with it might be a little loose of a term, but he did win by 3. He never gave anybody a chance to get into it, including Jon Rahm. It ended up kind of being a two-man race there at the end between Rahm and Finau. But Finau was up 3 the entire time, and he got some birdies early, and he never even let the door open at all for Rahm. So that was pretty cool. And then at the end of the round, while he's standing there on the 18th green, his entire family's there, his wife, his 5 kids. I think he travels with either his parents or his wife's parents as well. This guy, you could watch the Netflix show Full Swing, and there's an episode that features Finau, and he won 2 tournaments last year back to back. So he won the Rocket Mortgage Classic and the 3M. I'm not sure which order it was in. But anyways, he won them back to back. And the entire episode is about how this guy saw Tiger Woods playing. His father comes from a big family. I believe he's Samoan. They live out in Utah. And they saw Tiger, and he used to go in his garage and hit range balls. They actually go by his old, I guess it's a condo. And you can see the garage, and the garage still has dents in it from where I guess they missed the net and hit the golf balls into the metal garage. So there's still some marks there. But it's a great story. Long story short is they were basically, they had 5 kids, so they didn't have a lot of extra money. So they made a golf area to hit. It wasn't a simulator. It was just a net in their garage, and all the kids used to hit into it. And they could only afford range balls once a week or go to the golf course once a week. So truly a good story. And then the other part that it highlighted is when I think his wife's father passed away, probably like a year, 2 years ago. And he decided when that happened that he wanted to be with her and not be out on the road. But then he realized, got to make money as well. So he decided to bring the whole family. And that's why whenever he plays, his whole family is out there. In fact, when we were out at Torrey, we saw the whole family walk by us, and that was nice to see. And so it was really nice to see the entire family on the 18th green with him. And he's just a regular guy. He doesn't have a regular job, obviously. He's a professional golfer, but it might be, like any father, family man out there, maybe you're a postal delivery service person, or maybe you work in construction, maybe you're a software engineer, but you go to work every day, you spend time with your family as much as possible. He just happens to have a different job, which gets me to another point. Like these PGA guys traveling around, especially the ones with families, like think about it. If they're playing probably 30 to 40 weeks out of the year. And so when they're working a full 7-day week. They get there on Monday. Monday might be a travel day or a pro-am. Tuesday and Wednesday is practice. And then Thursday through Sunday is the tournament as well. And then you're kind of off to the next one. So, if you play in 40 tournaments, what's 4 times 7 is 280 days out of the year you're working. Now, ask yourself a question. Are you working 280 days out of the year? Like if you're a 9-to-5er, I don't know, what's 5 times 48? I was told there'd be no math. I'm not good at math. But anyways, you get the point. These guys work a lot. And then not only that, but they're practicing, they're training and everything. So it's pretty cool. Guys out there with his family getting to travel around and play golf for a living and doing quite well. In the last year, the stat technically is the last 280 days, as you'll hear everybody say. That's why I know it, because everybody else has been saying it. But basically, he won the Rocket Mortgage and the 3M. He won a tournament in Houston in November, and then now he's won this one. So he's won 4 times in the last year, and he's had a ton of top 10s as well, and top 20s. So he's having a very good year. Let's talk a little bit about LIV. So last weekend, LIV had a tournament in Singapore, and Taylor Gooch won again. That's back-to-back LIV tournaments that he's won in back-to-back weeks. And, LIV doesn't play as much, but they have had 2 back-to-back tournaments now in different countries. And I don't know what the crowd was like. I know the crowd in Australia was huge. I saw the replay on YouTube for Singapore. It didn't look as big and as crazy, but the course sure looked nice. And, a little shout out to LIV on the replay that I saw on YouTube. I watched it this morning. It was like a 15-minute replay of the final round. And a lot of it has to do with the format as far as it being shotgun and the way it goes. But they really did a nice job with the replay. And, like these PGA replays, you just see like kind of the main players and whatnot. This one was like more put together in a format of like kind of from the start of the day, and how they were kind of going back and forth a little bit. And then the team game gets worked in there as well. I'm not really interested in the team game, but it made for a nice replay. So Gooch, it ended up being Taylor Gooch, Brooks Koepka, and Sergio Garcia. Do you know Sergio? You ever see that commercial? There was a good commercial, and then it was like the early 2000s. And this guy gets on a fake jet. It's like a Bud Light commercial. And they're like, you know Sergio? Come with us. It wasn't Sergio Garcia. It was just some made-up rich Spaniard. But anyways, Sergio did really well. So well that him and Gooch were tied at 17 under after regulation. And then it only went to a 1-hole playoff. It was a par 5. Sergio hit it in the bunker. Gooch hit it on the green. Sergio barely got out of the bunker, and Gooch had a 2-putt birdie. So that was it. So 2 weeks in a row for that dude. So he's getting paid. Obviously, that's like probably $8 million for him. So pretty good. Anyways, let's talk about the Wells Fargo coming up this weekend. Wells Fargo will be an elevated PGA Tour event. It's supposed to have all the best players in the world there because it's an elevated event, but Jon Rahm and Scotty Scheffler will not be playing. And there's no penalty, I guess, to them because I guess you can opt out of one of the elevated events and not incur a penalty. I don't even know what that means, incur a penalty, but I know Rory did not play 2 weeks ago. What tournament was that? Maybe the RBC Heritage. Rory backed out of that one, and so they penalized him, but I don't really know what he got penalized. So I don't know. Put it in the comments if you know. But Rahm and Scheffler are out. Rory is in. Everybody else is going to be there. And I hope somebody wins that's not in the top 30. So we can see somebody come up the ranks. Somebody gets some more elevated status. Somebody can get invited to the bigger tournaments. Somebody that can, I don't know, make some money. Let's go. Beau Hossler, who, by the way, has been playing well the last couple of weeks. Played well last week, and he also played well at the team event. So that leaves us to the final topic of the week, and that is the World Golf Rankings. And in particular, we're going to talk about these LIV Golf Rankings. And Sports Illustrated is doing this ranking system for the LIV players. And I'm telling you, you heard it here first, that there's going to be a problem with this World Golf Ranking. They're going to have to start including these LIV guys into it. Because if they don't, someone like SI is going to come out with some sort of World Golf Ranking, and before you know it, they're going to take over the World Golf Ranking. I'm telling you, World Golf Ranking, you better get with it and start including everybody. I know you're choosing sides with the DP World Tour and the PGA and the USGA, but look, these guys are playing in a tournament, and they have a strong field, and so they need to be counted. And with that, let's look at the SI rankings. But the SI rankings that I'm looking at this week are just the LIV rankings. So here's how I don't know what they're doing exactly, but they're saying it's a win percentage. So they're somehow coming up with a win percentage for the LIV players. And the number one LIV golfer in the world is my favorite. You hate him. You hate him, but I love him. Patrick Reed. Patrick Reed has a .76 win percentage for LIV. It also factored in his ranking when he played in the Masters. So I don't know. This is the guy. Number one, Patrick Reed. Number two, Dustin Johnson. 3 is Brooks Koepka. 4 is Taylor Gooch. The guy's won 2 in a row. How can he be 4? And then the guy I was talking about last week, Peter Ewing. Peter Ewing, he's coming up. Number 5. Number 6 is Carlos Ortiz. Charles Howell is 7th. Mito Pereira is 8th. Joaquin Niemann is 9. And Cam Smith is 10. And heck, I'll mention number 11 is Brandon Grace because he has won a LIV tournament, I think last year and this year I know he's won one. So that is the ranking system, and we will see what happens. One final thought is I did see a brief article. I don't know if there's any smoke where there might be some fire that Tiger could save the senior tour. I don't know if Tiger will play in the senior tour. I mean, it wouldn't be bad. People would love it. People would show up. All the other big names play there. Fred Couples plays there. But you never know. So that is This Week in Golf, and we'll talk to you next week. Hey, it's Jeremy Callahan, and thanks for listening to This Week in Golf. Make sure and hit subscribe so you can get all the latest news and analysis from Golf BPM.